Welcome to Final Punchline, a long-form dad joke podcast, Season 1. Episode 7 is titled Shucking Regrets. It's written by Stephen Fayette and narrated by Alex Hobby. Final Punchline's audio engineer is Patrick Sokol and is produced and directed by Yoon. Final Punchline's available on Apple and finalpunchline.com. Now sit back, relax, and listen for the Final Punchline.
There once was a family of corn plants known as the Maysworth family. The family consisted of the son Cletus, the daughter Martha, the father Cobb, and the mother Cream. There used to be a fifth member of the family, the grandfather, Poppy, but he unfortunately passed away of old age. A kind and wealthy philanthropist. His absence hit the family hard and left a fortune unclaimed. Leading up to the reading of Poppy's will, the family of four could not help but obsess over what's going to happen to the inheritance of $5 million. Who would it go to? Would it be donated to charity? Would it stay hoarded in some vault somewhere outside of their reach? Poppy's lawyer, a red rotom bespectacled lawyer named Bert Beats, solemnly read aloud from Poppy's posthumous demands. To the Maysworths, it sounded like a boring mumbling drone that lasted for hours until the lawyer reached the end of the stack of papers. At last, I leave my vast fortune of $5 million. The Maysworth ears colonels perked up, their pupils dilated, and they leaned forward in their seat. The anticipation was intense. They worried they might explode into movie theater popcorn right on the spot. To my beloved grandson, Cletus Maysworth, may it help you find your life's true calling. The room grew dead silent. All eyes focused on the 30-year-old sweet corn boy slouching lazily in a padded office chair, whose face now wore an expression of bewilderment and disbelief. He tried to speak, asking if such thing were really true, but all that passed his lips were a weak stutter. He was sweating as if he was being steamed. There's something you should know about Cletus Maysworth. If there was anyone in the family that was terrible with his money, it was Cletus. He had the aspiration to be a rich businessman and work himself to the roots to make his dreams a reality. It wasn't that he was unmotivated or disappointed about it. It was just unfortunate that all of his business ideas were, well, bad. Ice cream and cereal dust soup restaurant. Bad. A fight nearly erupted in the room, with Cletus' sister Martha almost frothing from the mouth in anger. She felt entitled to the money, arguing that Cletus was a slob who leached off the parents' money and would continue to melt like butter on fresh roasted corn, soaking into the couch cushions he sat on, day in and day out. The parents defended him the best they could. No matter his mistakes, they loved him dearly and believed in him with all their hearts. The lawyer interrupted their argument with a cough, sternly reminding them that no matter who did or didn't deserve the $5 million, it did not change the will. Cletus was going to receive the money. It was his to spend and do with as he wished. Cletus knew he had something meaningful with the money. This was a grand opportunity to turn his life around and make up for his past mistakes and repay his parents for supporting him all these sad jobless years after the ghost taxi cab company went bankrupt last year. He had to think of something good. He aimlessly wandered the streets of his home, Alley Lomaze, hoping that he might stumble upon some inspiration. He wandered for so long that the city began to blur into a series of indistinct gray slab and sour faces walking past him. He was so depressed and overwhelmed, about ready to consider giving up. Then, inspiration found him. He looked upwards from the corners of his feet and saw a beautiful building made out of marble, with 3 flags sitting below the grand pillars that walled off large beautiful glass windows. He saw Lettuce and Alik walking out of the building, both carrying briefcases that he imagined were filled with cash, wearing clean pressed suits and shouting loudly on the phone. They were money men, just like Lettucino de Gabaggio and the Arugula of Wall Street. Cletus ran and ran and ran. He ran all the way back to the bank with such a frightening pace that he had developed corns on his feet. His feet hurt, but he barely even noticed. The successful chapter of Cletus's life would begin now. He ran towards the first available clerk he saw and immediately requested to withdraw $5 million from his account. "What's a corn plant like you gonna do with all that money?" the clerk asked him with a genuine curiosity. Beaming at the bank clerk with a face adorned with a warm, corny smile, Cletus merely replied, "I've decided to invest it all in the stock market."
This has been Final Punchline. Thank you for listening. Please visit our website at finalpunchline.com. We'll be back next week